Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today, it's a shadow day. So as you can see from the title of this video, I lost all restraint, okay? Put me in cuffs because I've lost all restraint. Listen, okay, last year my #1 palette of the year was the Gourmande Girls Haunted palette. And I ranked this at the top because it was the best that I'd tried. It was the one that made me most excited, and the looks that I created with this palette were otherworldly, okay? I just love the color story, the mattes, the quality, everything about this I just absolutely loved, and I thought it was just so unique and so different. The looks that I created with this were always so unique. So that being said, it being my #1 of 2024, the 2025 has been like a time of collecting Gourmande girls. Okay, I lost restraint. Let's just cut the chase. Basically, every time there's been a sale or I had a little coupon code for Gourmande girls, Mama's been busy. Mama's been very busy. I have 2 eyes. What am I doing? What am I doing? So let me just break down this video quickly for you now, just so like we're not just rushing into it. You're probably like, this is a car crash of a video. I'm all over the place. What are we talking about? What are you doing? I'm going to show you the palettes that I purchased. I'm going to give you swatches of said palettes, and I'm going to do a look with one of the palettes today, okay? Now, I think, we'll see some theming in a minute, I think I'm going to save some of these palettes for like a spooky season. And I'm thinking about doing like a winter version of spooky season as well, like winter wonderland, snowy season. I kind of want some alliteration in there. So if you can think of like a good one for like the Christmas time. I was like, Christmas, crumble. I was struggling, okay, I was struggling. If you can think of some names that have alliteration and sound catchy for like Christmas, like spooky season. And if you haven't watched spooky season, I will link up the playlist in the cards. I'll be starting to film that pretty much like soon because we're approaching October. We're approaching October, spooky season. And I just basically play with all of my spooky inspired palettes. And we just have fun delving into makeup that's not necessarily brand new. It's a good time. So let's just dive into it then. So I've got the Frozen Kiss palette. A lot of these palettes that I picked up, won't lie, I was scared that they were going to get discontinued. I haven't played around with any of these, apart from this one shade here. I couldn't help with myself. I stuck my finger in it. This is the Frozen Kiss palette. I will give you all the up close swatches. Like I said, I'm not going to play around with this one today because I want to save it for like a snowy appropriate video. This one is the Silent Night palette. Again, a nice Christmassy, wintry inspired palette. And again, I was scared that this was going to get discontinued, so I like picked this up just in case. I picked this up kind of like early in the year, like the first half of the year, and it's just been sitting in my drawers. Okay, let's not talk about it. But I'll give you the swatches. Oh, maybe it's this one I touched. Maybe it wasn't the Frozen Kiss. I think it was this one. I can kind of see my little fingy imprint there. This one's stunning as well. So I think I want to have a lot of fun doing like a winter wonderland sort of eyeshadow bonanza. We then have like the spookier palettes, which obviously I will do for spooky season. We have the Nightshade palette, which is absolutely divine, darling. Look how beautiful that is. That's like greens and purples and a pop of yellow. Absolutely stunning. You're getting the close-up swatches. I'm not going to hold them on the screen for too long. I kind of just want to give you a little sneak peek because I will be covering these. We also then have the Bitten palette, which is kind of like, it is actually a Valentine's Day palette, but I'm going to include it in spooky season and like Valentine's season as well, because I think it kind of crosses across the 2 bridges. And this one is beautiful, deep plum, burgundy, purple, smoky goodness. I think this leans both into like anti-Valentine's Day and spooky season, so I'm going to use this palette for both. I want to get use out of my makeup, and I love Gourmande Girls formula, so it's a great excuse for me to use multiple palettes multiple times. This is stunning. Cannot wait to apply this one. This one is kind of not really spooky, but this is Call of the Sirens, and this is like a deep mermaidy sort of palette. I just feel like this one is, you know, a siren to me. I don't know why, but like a siren is the one that calls you into the water to kill you, and a mermaid is like the one that's sitting on the rocks like, oh, so pretty. I don't know why, but there's a difference for me. There's a difference between a mermaid and a siren. And for me, a siren is like calling you down to the depths to kill you. I don't know. I think this is so cool and so deep and dark. So I will be including it in like spooky season. I think realistically that's just when I'm going to get around to playing. I want to like play around with as many palettes as I possibly can. And realistically that's the best time for me to feature this palette as a thing. And it's really nice and deep, dark and grungy with beautiful metallics. I can't wait. I then have 3 more in front of me which are not like related to spooky season or like the winter season or I don't know, Valentine's Day. I've got the Ethereal palette, which is all, I think it's 12 shades. Yeah, it's 12 shades and it's all shimmers and sparkles. I got this one and this one on heavy discount, and that's the only reason I picked them up, to be honest. They were just on such severe deep discount that I was like, why not? I love this brand. I don't typically pick up all shimmer palettes, if I'm honest with you, but I got sent the Pastel Roses one, and that was an all shimmer palette, and I really, really loved that. So actually it kind of made me more creative and pick into my, like dip into my all matte shadows and blend them together, and there's some really pretty shadows in here. So I'll give you this one as like a proper up close. We're gonna linger on this one. I'm gonna show you, it's just like rainbowy beautifulness. There's a lot of duochromes in here. Again, it's all metallics, all shimmery shades, no mattes in here at all, which I typically do struggle with because I love a good matte base. I love to like create my eye shape with matte shades. So I think this is going to be fun and interesting for me to play around with. And I think it's going to be one of those things where I will probably find 6 out of 12 of these shadows that I love the most and then just keep going back to them. That typically is what happens for me with all shimmer metallic special shade palettes, is I'll find my faves and just come back for those ones all the time. So I picked up that one. And then I got the I've had to shamefully Google it because I don't want to butcher this, but you say it like Nova Vida. It means new life in Spanish. I think it's really cute. I think this is a collaboration with Steph's, oh yeah, it literally says right here, Steph's Beauty Stash. I'm an idiot. I was like trying to see if there was a shade named after her. It's like a big old sticker here. This was a collaboration. Look how funky this is. Look at those neons. Girl. And the pink. I love a pink like this. Actually, I'm half tempted to play around with this one today. But then I kind of, no, I'm gonna make this a short. I might like do something with this. I don't know. We're gonna play around with this at some point. Even if it's in just like a chatty get ready with me, I don't know. But this palette is so fun. And you've kind of got like a matte and a shimmer for everything. And you've got some like deep shades down here, which I really, really do appreciate. But you've got like purples, blues, like pinks, and then like the greens and like an inner corner shade. Honestly, this is a really stunning and really unique palette. Really excited to play around with this one. And then finally, I think this is the one I want to play around with today. I really wanted this one and it went out of stock when I went to go buy it last time, and now it's back in stock. This is the Peach Perfect palette, and my gosh, isn't she a beauty? Isn't she an absolute beauty? Oh, yes, we're definitely gonna play around with this one today. Like, I just want to play around with the greens and have like a peach to green look. I think that's gonna look stunning. I think it's gonna look stunning. So this is the one I want to play around with today. As you can see, I've got a semi full face of makeup. I'm currently, I think this video will be actually up before this is. This is my full face-ish of Maybelline. Hence the ish. I wanted to play around with an eyeshadow palette. And so everything that's on my face, including the lip that I'll come back for in a minute, will be in that video, that full face of Maybelline makeup. So I've done everything else today. I want to play around with some colour. I want to have some fun. I've also got a green mascara from Maybelline that I want to apply around with on the lower lash line. So I'm going to make it work. I want to do a peach to green look. I'm going to give you the swatches. Hopefully you should have had the swatches whilst I was talking about that, but this is a really, really beautiful palette. And then the other palettes that I've got, they will be played around with. They will be played around with. This one I probably won't be playing with like dedicated video on camera, but I'll absolutely play around with it just like in my personal life, and I can always feed back to you. And then at the end of the year I'll do a palette ranking anyway, so regardless of if I've showed it on camera or not, I will rank it and tell you my thoughts like as a roundup anyway. But you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 palettes at least with a dedicated video, and these other two, the Navida, no, I can't say it, Nuvida, New Life in Spanish, and the Ethereal I'll play around with separately if I get the chance. Okay, enough chatter, let's zoom in. So you've obviously seen the swatches. I haven't swatched this as I'm looking at it, and I kind of want to go simple and just kind of like lean into as many colours as I like can without it looking ridiculous. I'm gonna go straight into it. I'm gonna go into the shade Peach Perfect, and I'm gonna just start in the centre of my eye, and I kind of just want to fluff this through the first half of the crease and like stopping almost like where the arch of my brow is. I do really love the Gourmande Girls mattes. I think they're really nice. Honestly, like the whole formula, their palettes and everything, their formula is just great, you know? The mattes, the shimmers, everything just feels very consistent. I'm not saying good quality is like difficult to get. It's not. These days that you can get really good quality eyeshadows, but for the price, I think this is priced really fairly. Colour stories are always such fun and everything's just really consistent, you know? Like I just feel like every time I buy their palettes, I mean, you saw I bought what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 palettes in one go. That's craziness. But what that says to me is that I know what I'm buying, you know? I know what I'm buying. I know the consistency, I know the flavour of how it's all gonna be. That's really pretty. I'm just rubbing my brush off on my Sigma switch just to like take away the majority of that shade. I'm going to go into Peaches and Cream, this one here. It's the lightest matte in the palette, apart from this one, but it's like the lightest creamy matte in the palette. And I'm gonna take this on the inner corner and just like fluff it on the top of that Peach Perfect shade. And this is gonna be my inner corner. I really enjoy putting mattes, like really bright mattes, right where I'm putting it, right here. I just feel like it opens up the eye without adding too much colour. I should also drag it down here a little bit. I'm going to go into the shade Peach Out, this beautiful green, and I'm going to kind of just apply this on the, oh damn, pigment, hello. I'm going to apply this on the outer corner like this. Oh my god, girl. This is where I can never get it even, so, you know, like, praise me and all that. Okay. Panic. As long as it's even, I don't mind, because I can salvage it as long as it's even. We are getting a little bit of fallout, but that is okay. I'm gonna take a big old fluffy brush and take Peach Please. This one right here. It's like a minty kind of sage green, and I'm just gonna take that and just kind of like buff and stipple. Oh, we're definitely gonna have to get some micellar water here. The fallout for me, I think it's like also the brushes that I'm choosing. It's severe. Do you know what? We can be better than this. If first you don't succeed, try again. Okay, we're back to where we started with the Peach Perfect and then the Peaches and Cream in the inner corner. I think I just had to dial back that green. It was just getting a bit everywhere, too much at once. It was freaking me out. We're back to where we started. I'm gonna go first this time with Peach Please, the mint. And I'm gonna take that big fluffy brush again. I think we just went wrong, not realizing how pigmented that green was gonna be. And this time I'm just gonna start here and just fluff this all on the outer corner. My god, everything is just so pigmented. I love it. I just forget, okay? I just forget. So obviously the latest two palettes from Gourmande Girls I haven't got, which is the Mocha Moment and the Trapped palette. The Trapped palette looks like a bit of me. It looks like, basically, I think I made it. It looks stunning, and I will be picking that one up. I am going to pick up the Mocha Moment as well. I just wanted to try all these palettes. I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't keep purchasing palettes and not even bloody trying them on my face. Like, that is redonkulous. That is ridiculous. I feel like I did this look, but in reverse the other day with the Lovers palette from Cosmic Beauty. Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty. I'll link that video in the eye. I feel like I literally did this look, so that's good, isn't it? I'm going to go back into Peached Out. Yeah, I'm gonna go into Peached Out again, but with a tinier brush this time. And I'm gonna do like the same thing that we were going for, but just more condensed. I didn't like really want to wing it out last time, and I think I just kind of went with it because I was like, it's happening. I'm gonna drag it on the lower lash line as well. I wanna go into this shade here called Peachy Keen. It looks like a satin sort of shade, but I think it's gonna be really nice, just like on the inner quarter, and then I can do like more metallics here. You know what, this shadow, instead of it being like sparkly and like boom bam in your face, this is gonna be so much nicer just as like an all over one and done, just like a little bronzy brown or peach through the crease and like a little bit of brown on the outer corner, but across the lid that'll look really pretty. But just as like an inner corner, it's not giving as much impact as I thought it would. On the center of the lid, I'm gonna do Papa Don't Peach. It's kind of like a bronzy peach with green shift, I think, or like a yellowy shift. I can't really quite tell, but I'm gonna put that Oh baby, I'm gonna put that on the center. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. This is really helping merge into that peachy shade I put in the crease, the Peach Perfect shade. And I like to use my fingers just because I find like the natural like moisture, sweat from the fingertips just kind of helps pack on the shade really smoothly and kind of like sticks on. Whereas with a brush, although it's more perfecting, I have to do my makeup afterwards, otherwise it will just fall out absolutely everywhere. I respect the art, I just don't do it that way. And then I'm going to go into this one. I kind of wanted to go into this shade here, Georgia Peach, which is like this beautiful green with like bright purple sparkles kind of, but I think it's going to throw the look off. So I'm going to go into this shade here again with my finger and just press it where the matte shade and the metallic meet, and I can always do some like overlapping backwards and forwards. I'm going to go back into Papa Don't Peach and just overlap the green slightly, just so it blends in together. I'm actually going to take a little bit, just touch on that inner corner, just kind of overlap that peachy keen shade. I just feel like it's not as sparkly as I want it to be for this look, but I don't want it to be too intense, so I'm just going to tap it over. And then I'm going to go back into Peach Perfect, this one here, and just carefully kind of blend on the outside. And then taking the same brush that I used Peach Out, but I like took the excess off my Sigma switch, I'm gonna go back into Peach Please and then just blend the outside edge here. And then I'm gonna go into Wanna Peach of Me, this darkest shade, and just kind of go back to that very outer corner. I feel like the best part about all this is just like the layering. I want to add a tiny bit more intensity when it comes to the peach, so I'm going to go to the Peach Boys, this orange shade here, I appreciate that name, and just put a little smidgen just here, like where you can see it hits, and it's going to just tie nicely in with that Papa Don't Peach shimmer shade. The shades in this palette are actually quite funny. I'm wondering if there's a shade in the Ethereal palette that I could use as like the inner corner. Maybe like, I don't know if it's going to throw it though, like this yellow, or I think this is too blue. Maybe like that yellow would be kind of cool actually. Oh, I don't know, there's actually not much in it. That bottom one was the white one and that was the yellow one there. Actually, maybe the white one would be better. A bit more subtle, maybe? Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna go into Pure from the Ethereal palette, this one here, and just pop that here. Do you know what? I'm kind of happy with that. I think the only thing I'm going to do, just to kind of smoke this out, is go into this shade here, which is Life's the Peach. And go in with a small, fluffy brush and just try and blend this out a little bit more. Just to kind of smoke it. There we go. I feel like I just like softly diffused it a little bit more. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go away, put some mascara on, put my lip on, and we're going to come back and talk to you about these palettes. And I am back. This is the final look. This is what I have created. Doesn't a look just look so much, look. Doesn't it just look so much better with mascara? Like I feel like when you get eyeshadow on and it can just not look very complete, and then you finish your makeup and you're like, girl, yeah, do you know what? I'm feeling this. It's actually pretty simple. Like it's literally just peach and green. There's nothing like artistic about it. I'm really intrigued about the other shades in this palette. Like I really want to do this one here, the Georgia Peach, and kind of do like a minty kind of green like that, and then maybe just like a really bold orangey peach like with this one, and like this on the outer corner. I think there's quite a few different looks that I could do here. I just wanted to play around with both of the tones, and honestly they blended so well and the quality is there just like I thought it would be. So I feel like it's a really boring review, me going, yeah, it's great, it's literally as great as I thought it would be, but it actually is. And I feel like it's a great palette if you like a bit of colour, but you like a bit of neutrals and you want to step into something that's not like a rainbow palette. I feel like this is a really good way of doing that, because you have got those neutral shades and these like muted greens that you can absolutely lean into. And like the shimmers or metallics, whatever you want to call them, they're not all audacious. There's actually not that many in here. There's only 5. Yeah, these two, and this one here. And, you know, only 2 of them are like bright green. So I feel like this is a pretty soft launch into colour if you don't have much colour in your collection. I did say I wanted to talk about the Mocha Moment palette and the Trapped palette. I feel like the Mocha Moment palette, I'm looking at a picture now, I'll put some pictures up on the screen for you. I feel like this palette is just such a beautiful, sultry, neutral palette with a pop of green, a pop of like lavender, taupey shade, and it's got some really beautiful neutrals. So I feel like if you don't like peach and green and this is still too colourful for you, the Mocha Moment palette is stunning. And that top shade, what is it called? Marble something? I can't quite see. Oh, Marble Mocha. Honestly, that shade looks divine. I will definitely pick this palette up. I love Gourmande girls. I love the formula. I love the format. I love everything that they do. So I'll definitely pick up this palette like at some point. But this palette specifically is just so, so nice. This for me is gonna be like an everyday work palette. Something that I could literally throw in a bag and make a look nice, or like not too dressy, not too like flamboyant, but then also make it really, really dressy with like those really rich, deep shades and smoking it all out. I really, really like this palette, so I'm definitely going to pick that one up. And the Trapped palette. I'm feeling slightly concussed by this palette. I really, truly am. I'm like watching a little video on Instagram now. This is stunning. The packaging itself, like the Venus flytrap, is so cool. It's like so dystopian and dark. I think this is going to kind of fit into that like spooky season as well. I don't know why, I just feel like it's quite gory and quite like edgy and fun. So hopefully I can try and get this for like October time. Maybe if we can get it like the back end of October, we can like sneak it in as part of the spooky season. There's also 2 highlighters that come with this collection and an array of lip products. I probably won't pick up the lip products, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll pick up one just to try a different scoop from Gourmande girls. I will pick up a highlighter, if not both. I'll see if there's a bundle deal. There's a lot of lip products. A lot of them are like metallic, some of them are like creamy. I'm not a massive fan of all the shades, and I have enough lipsticks to sink the Titanic all over again. Like honestly, I mean, I have also enough eyeshadows to sink the Titanic again, but it's different, okay, it's just different. I don't need another lipstick because I don't use the ones I have enough, and I'm aware of that. Whereas eyeshadow, I'm like, it keeps for longer because it's powder. That's like the logic in my brain. But yeah, that Trapped palette, man. The greens, the pinks, the purples. Oh yeah, it's good. It looks good. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it with the Mocha Moment. You just watch me. You just watch me. Let me know, do you have any palettes or anything from Gourmande girls? What do you have? What do you want to see next? Do you want me to like do some more shorts with these videos? I'd love to be able to kind of like do a separate ranking of the Gourmande girl palettes. Naming convention needed for trying out wintry, Christmassy palettes. What do I call that? Because I have spooky season and I really like that. I really like that. What can we call the Christmas one? Christmas crusty eyeshadows. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. It was just like a really relaxed play around with makeup, show you the palettes. I've got to go do B-roll now and swatch every single eyeshadow palette on the back of my hand and hate myself. So imagine that. When you go to bed tonight, me hating myself, swatching all these glittery eyeshadows, like literally having to strip my hand from all of its natural oils by the end of the day. I want to leave you with that thought. Thank you so much for watching. Thumbs video up if you have enjoyed. Talk to me down below about Gourmande girls. Help me with that alliteration name, please. I'm begging of you. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell if you want to be notified of all the videos I upload. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!